I just removed myself from the organ donor registry after reading this article. Let me tell you about it. It was by the New York Times. It was an investigation into the U.S. donor transplant system that made me consider and remove my donor status as of now. Let me tell you what they found. This is straight from the article, and it focuses on a lady named Daniela Gallego. Straight from the article. In 2022, when she was 38 and homeless, Miss Gallego was hospitalized and went into a coma. Doctors at Presbyterian Hospital in Albuquerque told her family she would never recover. Her relatives agreed to a donation of her organs, but as preparations began, they saw tears in her eyes. Their concerns were dismissed, according to interviews with the family and 8 hospital workers. Organ donation coordinators, said the tears were a reflex, i.e. no big deal, just normal, doesn't mean anything, just a reflex. On the day of the planned donation, Miss Gallego was taken to a pre-surgery room where her 2 sisters held her hands. A doctor arrived to withdraw life support. Then a sister announced she saw Miss Gallego move. The doctor asked her to blink her eyes, and she complied. The room erupted in gasp. Get this, though. Still, hospital workers said the donor procurement organization wanted to move forward. One of the coordinators from that organ donation center said it was just reflexes and suggested morphine to reduce her movements. Thankfully, the hospital refused, and instead workers brought her back into her room, and she made a full recovery. If you read this article, which I think you should, you'll see pictures of Miss Gallego. She is alive and well in Albuquerque, so thank God for that. So why are these donor procurement organizations so aggressive? Well, it seemingly, at least to me, comes down to money and survival. In 2020, the Department of Health and Human Services started grading these organizations based on how many transplants they arrange. So organizations that perform below average are going to lose their federal contracts, meaning that they will likely go out of business. Their companies will. This is from Neva Williams. She is a veteran intensive care nurse, and she said about her experience with organ procurement organizations, quote, "All they care about is getting organs. They're so aggressive. It is sickening. Making things even worse, there's a massive time crunch involved in this. Most donated organs do come from brain-dead patients, which is relatively safe. But to boost their numbers, get more organs involved, organizations are increasingly using donation after circulatory death, where patients are still alive with some brain activity. With these patients, organs only stay viable for 1 to 2 hours after the heart stops. So there's this frantic race against the clock to declare death quickly and get the organs out before they're unusable. That time pressure, combined with the federal incentives and the federal quota system, creates a really perfect, terrible storm for cutting corners and premature death declarations like we just read about. To make things even worse, even medical experts aren't sure of the full scope of these problems. This is Dr. Wade Smith, a neurologist at UCSF, who frequently evaluates potential donors. He said, "I think these types of problems are happening much more than we know." Dr. Robert Cannon, who's actually a transplant surgeon himself, admitted, quote, "I do not know the scope of the problem. I don't know that anyone does. That's the scary thing." So, just personally, for me, after reading this investigation, I removed myself from the organ donor registry. I would go back on it again, personally, but I can't really prioritize and try and help out a system that prioritizes hitting quotas over protecting vulnerable patients who cannot care for themselves. So for me personally, I need to see accountability, some kind of reform, and proper oversight before I'm willing to go back on there. I'm going to put a link to the full New York Times investigation in the description for the video so you can make an informed decision for yourself. I highly, highly encourage you to read it.